I'm Dr. Certain, and I'm a chiropractor, and Danny's getting an adjustment, and a chiropractic adjustment to take care of any misalignments or stuck vertebral joints.
Equine chiropractic. So, oh, you're from Columbia? No, I was going to say you're from Columbia, but
No, this is a company jacket.
yes.
Anyway, we're going to do the adjustment to free up any joints that are stuck, and when the joints get stuck, eventually there's compensation that takes place, and then eventually there can be injuries as a result of the compensation.
Halloween weekend, Danny and I were on an endurance race. It was he's 6. It was his first time and my first time. You have to vet in on those things.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has a problem. I really don't. But they said they thought maybe a hip might have been might need an adjustment or something. So that's kind of why I'm doing that.
Okay. When the trainers tell me the horse doesn't seem to know where his feet belong, it's usually the pole. When the pole is stuck, it interferes with the normal proprioceptive foot placement, coordination, and sometimes the horse can seem a little wonky because of that. But
Wonky. I've used that term.
yeah, and so when you adjust the pole, it can kind of get everything moving correctly as far as all the muscle movement and the proprioception, the range of motion, and the coordination.
I know when I ride them sometimes, mostly it's just at a walk, but when I was preparing for that endurance, we did trotting and cantering, and we did it, the people we practiced with had Tennessee walkers.
Okay.
And he had, you used the term wonky,
Yeah.
and I've said that a lot, that he has a wonky. He gets in, but I thought maybe what he was doing was he was looking at those walkers. He's 6, and he was trying to figure out the gait, and he couldn't quite, he was trying to emulate that gait, so maybe it was something else, huh?
Yeah. I'm checking the withers, and it'll be fine.
So that wonky gait, was that maybe what I was thinking it was? He was trying to, as a young horse, he was trying to emulate the horses in front of him?
No.
Because
No,
he couldn't quite figure out.
Yeah.
He'd go fast, and then I've caught up to him and slow down, and then he'd go fast and slow down, and he was between gaits. It felt like.
I use the term wonky because that's what all the trainers use with me.
Yeah.
When they say they're off, they have a wonky gait, and that can mean any number of things other than not gating correctly. And so when the pole is stuck like that, that's typically what will happen, because it does interfere with proprioception, which is the basis of coordination.
So was his or not?
Yeah.
It was stuck?
Yeah, the pole was down, it was inferior on the right side.
So I'm most likely going to find something different in that.
He's gonna feel better.
Okay.
He'll be better to ride.
Horses that really resist you when you do this?
Not very often. I mean, I've adjusted thousands of horses, and I could probably count on maybe both hands the number that were really resistant. When you have a rib that's stuck, the intercostal nerve that runs between the rib gets irritated. The intercostal muscles between the ribs contract to try and prevent irritation to that intercostal nerve, and so they kind of hold their barrel in such a way to try and allow that not to hurt. And so when they're doing that, they're moving in such a way that causes what we call aberrant range of motion or improper range of motion. The rider may or may not feel it. It just depends on how seasoned the veteran the rider is, and you know how smooth the horse normally gaits to begin with. So.
When we get out there and we're trying to stay within people, he's a gawker. He's a good Indian. He's not a very good chief.
Okay.
So one of the things I'm working with him is trying to get him to take charge, and he doesn't like that.
Okay.
So when we're out there and we were practicing for the endurance, like I said, he'd kind of, oh, I got to get up there, and he'd run, but he'd get wonky.
Yeah.
And then I'm up here, and then he'd slow down.
Okay.
And then I'd have to get him going again, and he would canter for a little bit, and then trot, and then kind of in between a trot and a canter.
Yeah.
Does he drag his hind?
feet?
It seems like it. I don't know. Is that something I should be feeling, dragging the hind feet?
His hooves are a little flat, little scraped flat in the front. And sometimes that's because they drag.
Oh, I see that.
They don't put their feet up very well. Changes the angle at which the femur sets into the pelvis, and it will make them drag their toes. But his pelvis wasn't like that. So I don't think it's that. I mean, he might be lazy. I don't know.
Lazy? Maybe.
I think he's riding, and you know, just expect that, you know, maybe he's not a leader, maybe he's a follower, and if that's the way he is, that's the way he is.
Okay, so I don't have to really do anything different.
No,
He wasn't in bad shape,
He
or
will feel different to you. With that rib being adjusted and that pole being adjusted, he definitely will feel like a different horse. He'll probably be a lot smoother.
because he's not smooth.
Okay, he probably will be a little bit smoother, and he might correct himself in the hind end a little bit more.
Okay.
And, you know, have a little bit more giddy up and go.
Okay, so when in the future, if he starts feeling like wonky and stuff, that should be an indication for me again, right?
Possibly get him adjusted again.
Okay.
Typically, I recommend for, you know, horses that are not showing all the time, I recommend anywhere from 2 to 4 times a year. So like quarterly, or every 6 months to get checked and adjusted. The show horses that I see, I adjust them every 4 to 6 weeks. That's where I was, the barn I was at before I came here.
Okay.
Barn, 100 jumper barn. And because they're going at it, they're training, they're working hard, they're athletes, and they just need a little bit more treatment.
Well, I thank you for this.